Hi, people. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Oh, I'm so glad they're joining. Yay. Look at all these beautiful people joining.
I looked for a hairdryer too, but my stylist was out.
Ah, it's all right.
Air dry.
Sorry, everyone, we're a little bit late. We had some, stuff, life and all that stuff. I want to just mention before I get started, my mom is a painter and has Parkinson's. Actually, this painting back here is one of hers.
Wow.
And she's one of the symptoms she's been having with Parkinson's is she really a lot of aphasia, like a challenge with speaking. And so her communication is having to come through her paints. So I find that I'm glad that she has this outlet because it's not been easy for her. She used to be the center of attention in a room and always was something to say, and now she's just a quiet one.
That's just mean that Parkinson's takes our voice and our ability to recall words. It's just mean.
Yeah.
Because, with the face getting frozen, it makes it hard to communicate.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so delighted to have you here with me today. I am just, God, you guys are in for a treat. And many of you already know Heather Kennedy, AKA Kathleen Kiddo. Do your friends call you Kathleen or Heather?
They've called me worse than that. Kathleen Kiddo. Kathleen Kiddo comes from Kill Bill. When I was going through my divorce, they used to say, wow, you're really going Kill Bill. You need to chill out. So Beatrix Kiddo's less attractive cousin only has a pen. And someone started to call me Kathleen Kiddo, my middle name. So, yeah. Or maybe it's a nom de plume because I'm expecting to write a book.
Yes, there it is.
Love this one.
The sequel. Oh,
so good. Thank you for this.
I'm so grateful.
Wow.
Spoke to you, and we'll get into that. In fact, you even have a question for me that you shared in it. I'm thinking about it. For those of you who don't know Kathleen Kiddo yet, she is, of course, writer, advocate, voice who has reached thousands of people in the Parkinson's community and beyond. Someone whose work refuses to flatten illness into a tidy narrative. And my goodness, we need that these days. Through her essays or videos or podcasts, public reflections, she writes about the lived reality of Parkinson's with brutal honesty. Sometimes funny, often funny, sometimes fierce, often fierce, but always deeply human. And one of the things I love about you, Heather, is that you always manage to hold two things at once, maybe more than two, but you are definitely unsparing in your truth telling, but you're also darkly comic. And there's this like deep current of care that also runs through all of that and calm, considering all that you've got going on. I do feel like found it calm. So
no one's ever called me calm, so thanks.
Are you serious? So no, I've been, immersed in the past 48 hours, and I feel a calm when I listen to you and when I read you. So there's one thing that you've said about your writing is that you ultimately you want compassion to be your end game, even if it is like staggeringly honest. So that tension of passion alongside blunt truth is really kind of at the heart of your voice to me. So I am just delighted to have you here with me today to shine a light on what living with Parkinson's actually looks like day to day and on the quiet, often invisible struggle that people are living with. You bring such a voice to all of us. Welcome.
Thank you. Honored to be here.
So let's start with the body because I want people to really just close your eyes, take a deep breath. Let's get into this experience that you live in. And I know it changes all the time. That's one of the crazy things about neurological disorders. That's what I know I experience too, where it's like, I feel great today. I feel dizzy. It's just how it's going to be.
Yeah.
But one of the things you describe Parkinson's feeling like, you say, pretend you're in quicksand or drowning in an icy, wool-like suit of armor. So tell me a little bit more about how you're feeling today, what that suit of armor feels like today, and then if your relationship to that has changed, because you've had Parkinson's for quite some time.
Yeah. Thanks for this podcast, by the way. I've learned so much from so many different modalities and different people that have come here and shared what they do. And your journey certainly has inspired me too. My body. I was a dancer. I was a boxer. I was a very active kid. I related to the part with you swimming in your book. I always wanted to be moving. And I couldn't sit still. Go or be dragged, I guess, because now I have to sit still sometimes for a long time. I would say that the body's more utilitarian now. I used to look at it like, what shapes can I shove into this curvy configuration that will be attractive? I'll work out so that I'll have muscles. Now I work out so that I can reach up to a shelf and grab something, or stand up a little bit longer, or get out of bed in the morning. So everything changes. It's been since before my daughter was born that I was having symptoms. So I've lived in a body that feels I feel like I'm upside down in my own body. Like my legs are up in here and head somewhere down there, and things are sort of just off. And I think when that happens, you start to like divorce yourself from your physical self. You have to go to other places to be able to survive. And I would say I'm deep into more spiritual practices, and a little less of the material world. But it sounds a little funny, imagine that you're in a pond, you're frozen, you're under the ice, you can't get up, and you're in a wool blanket. It sounds like Houdini. That's how it feels several times a day. Your brain will send a signal to walk, and the body's like, nope, not today. Now I go with it. I used to fight it. I realize now that there's no fighting some of this.
Yeah.
It's not a giving up, though.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think the opposite of fighting is giving up at all. There's that tension though of needing to distract, needing to escape.
Yeah.
And there's so much in this, especially in our new age self-help culture. It's like, go within and feel your body, and embodiment, and feel all
those quotes.
Yeah, it does work.
Yeah. Those quotes really crack me up. Just be yourself, or dance like no one's watching. Well, they're not, because they're on their phones. But I think it's funny to I used to have a different view of my body, for sure. I made friends with it now. Hi, Chris. Yeah, it's taken me a long time to make friends with my body.
Yeah. At first, was it an adversary when all this started? Was it something?
Yes, I felt betrayed, deeply betrayed. I was so angry. And the anger was often pushed outward, projected. Like, there must be something out here that is making me struggle in this way. There must be some reason why I'm sick. It must be environmental, which is partly true. Or all this trauma from my family. And I looked at every single healing modality I could possibly find. What is wrong with me? I really wanted to find out. You asked if it was a strange collaborator, or is it a teacher, or is it an adversary? I would say it's a teacher now. Yeah. Go or be dragged.
In one of you talk about Rinpoche says a spiritual teacher's job is to insult us. And so would you go as far as the teacher?
Yeah. In fact, my greatest teachers have often called me out.
Yeah.
Hello, things are falling. Earthquake in New York. Yeah, my greatest teachers. Speaking of greatest teachers, hi, Mom. Yeah, I feel like my greatest teachers have done that in some way or another, because the ego needs to be insulted, if you ask me.
Yes. Yeah. And
you're not in charge, right?
Greater insult than having our bodies just betray us.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw Alyssa Kennedy. I don't know if you guys are related, but Alyssa is the publisher of my book. She joined, and she has extreme seizures, developed them hit perimenopause. It wasn't epileptic her whole life, and then all of a sudden was face planting in the middle of Manhattan. And it's, when our bodies betray us, that is, sure, that is a spiritual teacher. That is saying, hey, guess what? Your ego is not in charge.
Right. Or at least it's not driving. People always say to kill the ego. I'm like, no, I don't think that would be appropriate either. We need it for certain things. It is, so somewhat useful sometimes, but to let it fall back.
One of your essays is titled Poison or Gift, which is phenomenal. And I actually learned something. I had no idea that in the German word for poison, I mean, that's kind of incredible.
Yeah.
So, and then you go on to say that if the gift is poison, then Parkinson's is the best gift ever. So can you reflect on that a little bit more?
It's occurred to me that some of the things that we deal with are really an opportunity. I wouldn't have chosen them. They're horrible. I would like them to go away. But since they're here, I might as well use them. And that's the idea. I'm sort of economical in my thinking, I suppose. It's not like I'm some great spiritual teacher that I've come as far. I got dragged into this. But I think it was more Theophrastus Bombastus von Hohenheim who told me that. It was the polymathic freak show I mentioned in the beginning. Theophrastus Bombastus von Hohenheim. Or Paracelsus. Swiss-German guy. Anyway, everything is poison. It just depends on the dose. So when he said that, I thought, well, we're going to get suffering. We're going to get a lot of it. We're going to get a lot of what we don't want. What do we do with that? It's not like I set out to do these things. I didn't have a choice. I wanted to be adaptive, which is why I like the Davis-Finney feature of victory. What is my small victory today? What could I do today? I know what I can't do, and I can compare all day long to how things used to be. My current state, mostly a wheelchair. I just got a remote control wheelchair. It's really cool.
Oh, but Jameson loves.
Yeah. Oh, Elizabeth Jameson, what a powerhouse. She's one of the people I'm following. I'm following her. She's amazing.
Yeah. Yes, we can talk about Elizabeth because I think you even mentioned she might be moving out to her area.
I'd like to live half the year in California if I may. I'm going to see. I'm going to try.
Together makes me so freaking excited. I'm going to have to down there.
Yeah. Are you in Colorado?
No, Oregon.
Oh, cool. Cool.
One of the things I've noticed when I read you and when I listen to you, and you were talking about this guru, Parkinson's guru, is I feel like it forces presence, and you are in been being present. A lot of people will sit on meditation cushions and try to conjure presence and do all the mantras, but illness forces presence. One, because it's always changing, like you said, and two, because it's like this, like you can't make any, you really can't make any. Tomorrow might be a completely different thing. You can't really long-term plans.
It's maddening for my type A friends.
Yeah.
They want to do things ahead of time and let me know what their schedule is, and I'm going to drop in when that doesn't always work out. Yes. Here's
with that.
Well, I look at it like being comfortable with uncertainty. To steal a note from Pema Chodron, the spiritual teacher, you got to get comfortable with not knowing what's going to happen next, which I've always been that way. I like the prefrontal cortex stimulated, so not knowing what's going to happen is kind of a good thing. But we get a lot of what we don't want. By the way, you cut out a couple of times while you were asking me the questions. Could you repeat the last thing that you said?
What did I actually just say? I don't know. Talking about forcing. My main question around that is how is that in terms of your relationships? How is that changing?
Parkinson's is so hard on everybody. All the people around us, our families, our friends. It is so hard to be around Parkinson's. I have incredible friends some are living with the disease and some are not. And it's amazing to me they keep in touch with me. It's amazing to me. Chronic illness is hard. I mean, let's face it. I'm not sitting in a room in pain, always thinking about other people. Sometimes I'm like, where is everybody? Goodbye, cruel world. I get all dramatic. So I was joking about the fantasies I was having in that piece of writing. It gets kind of funny. Like, the mind can make up these scenarios, like they're not coming to see me because they don't care about me. Meanwhile, life's going on. Everybody has their own life going on.
Yeah.
I just happen to be still more reflective and have time to sit there and ruminate when I'm not moving.
Well, in relationship, you become, like you said, you become a human Rorschach lot because you really are almost like you're a great mirror. We become great mirrors for other people because they're going to tell you exactly how they're
Yes.
who you are.
Yes. They think that they're observing me, and I'm observing them in their most pure form as they are responding to what they think they see. Usually people think I'm drunk, and they respond to that. There's an awful lot of shaming that's unnecessary that's going on about addiction, by the way. If that's true, if my guess, not a mind reader. Turns out I don't really know what people are thinking, but it seems like they get angry.
Have you ever approached somebody, like when you're out in public and you feel like someone's getting irritated with, the way you're moving through the store or whatever? Have you ever just said, "Hey, what's going on?" Or "What do you think?" Oh.
I turned to them and I said, "Oh, you have an interest in Parkinson's. Would you like to give a donation to the Davis Finney Foundation or Michael J. Fox Foundation, perhaps?"
Nice.
And that kind of. But if I don't have it together, I just kind of go. Right? Because you can't get wrapped up in what people think they say. It's easier said than done, though. We are social animals, and our very survival can depend upon how that works out.
Well, and on any certain day, someone might be like, "Yeah, oh my God, I just realized I was judging you and I'm so sorry." And then on another day, they might have been distracted or they woke up with a shitty feeling in or a bad scenario in their marriage, and they might not have the patience for that. And so we're all changing all the time.
Right, which is why I always say, I remember a time when I was not informed and I might have responded wrong. Or I almost knocked somebody over when I flew by this person that was not, her balance wasn't good. I wasn't paying attention. It's mindfulness. It's being present. Mindfulness sounds so highfalutin, but just staying in the present moment. Looking what's around you. It's hard to do when you're in a lot of pain.
It is really hard. Do you feel like you can? Okay, here's a question because I feel like I've also been forced to be much more in the present, but I have going back to this escapism because I also escape a lot to just not feel the dizziness. So, can you be present and escape from your body at the same time?
Ooh, that's a great one. Well, I'm not a person that knows how many dimensions there are. I'm not a person who's used the full capacity of her mind. But I know people who have had experiences out of body and in at the same time with an extreme presence of feeling everything and somehow it not mattering so much. And no, it doesn't mean they were drunk, but something along a spiritual, like when Rumi talks about getting drunk on the spirit, he's obviously talking about the divine, whatever that means to, Rumi or Hafiz, Hafiz is one who has memorized the Quran. I love those ancient poets. They're great.
I know. They were something that I think we all have the ability to tap into, but there's just so many more layers now. That experience of the divine. And
it's everything to me right now. And the divine doesn't mean God or a lot, whatever you want it to be. But I know I'm not in charge. I know that I'm not the highest form of power, and so I lean on that when times get really rough.
Has that grown as maybe I hate the word like your spiritual life or that term, but do you feel like that's grown since your diagnosis, or have you always been a little bit kind of with one foot in the other realm?
I'm much more contemplative now. I'm much more interested in what the legacy is or what is left behind or what I can do to make people, places, and things a little bit better than they were when I found them. I don't always do that, by the way. Sometimes I blurt out, "Oh, look at the elephant in the room," and they weren't ready for that. They didn't ask me for that. But I have this sense of urgency.
Heather, you are making things better. I mean, and you are, you are the pinnacle of advocacy when it comes to Parkinson's with, like I love the brutality and I love the compassion of the both and of those. And it is extraordinary to see how you roll. Was that something you consciously did?
I think I was more of an activist for many years. I wanted to inform people about Parkinson's through my lens. The real advocates, like Kevin Kwok and the people that are going to the Congress and the Senate and talking about Parkinson's and changing policies, and like my friend Eric, who goes, he was 911, he was emergency tech, and he now goes to hospitals and teaches people in acute care what Parkinson's is really like. Heaven knows we get abused in the emergency room, but I think I was more of an activist. I wanted to get people's attention, and when I had their attention, I wanted to say, "And now look over here, check it out." Like, Chris is saying something in the chat too about that.
Yeah, he said
perceptions.
Thank you, Chris. He says I saw a guy yesterday that had originally drunk and was crossing the street myself and realized he might need help, independent of his state. And
a woman is never a woman just crossing the street. She's a woman crossing the street knowing that she's being watched while she's crossing the street compared to other women's bodies while she's crossing the street. And Kelly mentions that too. Perceptions of body change. Now my body's like, truly is a temple. Trying to last as long as possible so I can maybe see my grandkids if my kids decide to have grandkids.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
Priorities change. Priorities change rapidly.
Yes, they do. How many? So tell us, you're almost in 2 decades now with Parkinson's.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's about check. My daughter is she had a birthday, so right around the time I really remember feeling around the time she was born. So
yeah. So is your daughter near having a baby? Is she married?
No, this is wishful thinking. It's not the immediate future. She's taught me so much. My children are really. It's been humbling. Before kids, you have all these ideas like, I'm going to be this kind of parent. I would never do that or that. I'll be this kind of parent. And then you have kids and you're like, is everybody alive? We're good.
I bet you really let them experience the full spectrum of their aliveness too. I'm guessing.
Yes.
You celebrate their insecurities. Is that right?
I don't know if I celebrate the insecurities, but I remember a time my daughter would get like every box of food out on the floor and make big designs. And I said, "Oh, this is just like the paintings the monks make." And I showed her the sand paintings and they blew them away. I thought I could yell, make a big fuss. It's already messy. She already did it. I could try to teach her a lesson, or I could enjoy this moment and make this into a plan for my kids to go to the sandbox and do some of this. And those monks, she was very curious about them. Like, why would they do all that work and then blow the sand away? I'm like, it's impermanence. Everything goes. Everything goes. All things go. That's a Sufjan Stevens song, right? Sufjan, yeah. Chicago, all things go.
Yeah. Other than best with his lyrics and his voice. It's great to my.
Yeah.
Will you read something for us?
Sure. Once upon a time, there were 2 princesses. Wait, what are we reading?
You have a story for us too. The piece that I highlighted, would you like to read that one around this,
Yeah, sure.
The poison list, I believe, is how
I'll read that. I'm gonna bring it up.
Okay.
Okay, here it is.
Of how Kathleen doesn't shy
Thank
away
you.
her in frustration, desperation, and absurdity, and she allows it to be part of the conversation without alarm bells of like, oh my God, what's going to happen now?
Yeah. The sky is falling. We get really good at tackling pain, letting it in. I've been immobilized all day. I'm staring at the ceiling, imagining the mildew developing in the laundry. I failed to move from the washer to the dryer. And I'm contemplating death. By the 6th hour, the suicide scenarios are becoming increasingly hilarious, cinematic in scope. elaborately choreographed as a balancing ballet. They involve colorful explosions, cyanide capsules hidden in my spyglasses, Bengal tigers, katana swords, active volcanoes. Press enter to click to view the larger image. Just kidding. That's a joke. That was a joke for you. Who am I kidding? I never make it to the crater of an active volcano. You kidding me? I can't even walk out my front door. Possibly, if I'm very lucky, the toilet will become an option before, and not for the first time, before I take a whiz on myself. Like most animals, humans are wired to monitor their surroundings for threats. Even when you don't have low dopamine, it's normal, to wake up with an automatic negative thought pattern. A surge, an irritation, your alarm clock. A full-fledged death wish. Anything in between. Depends on the level of pain. It's a vast spectrum. No matter how healthy and happy you are, you probably don't open your eyes most mornings with a halo of cartoon birds chirping around your head and pixie dust and sparkles on everything you touch. That's okay. Especially if you figure out how to delete that first thought. Like it's a drunken text message to your ex. I've never done that. And move on to a better, less self-poisoning thought. All and any of the great spiritual teachers, regardless of time, place, or tradition, they'll say one thing. That high-functioning adults are people who have some ability to separate themselves from their thoughts and feelings. Meditation, you watch your thoughts up on a screen. Oh, there you are thinking. Welcome, don't stay too long. On a good day, sometimes I can even manage it. I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my feelings. I'm not defined by these things. Thoughts and feelings are happening to me. I'm choosing not to identify with them. I'm choosing to observe them with minimal judgment. Sometimes. Yet, like my meds, this usually doesn't last long. Thoughts and feelings are happening to me. So, yeah, I don't want to like wrap it up and make it like it's always going to be neat. Like there's the ending. And I reached the top of the mountain. Sometimes it doesn't go like that. That's okay.
No, absolutely. And most, I don't think it does. I mean, it does sometimes, but, and then it's scripted and then, in screenplay and all of that. But most of the time, it doesn't have that inspirational aha, which is weird because I still feel pressure. Do you feel the pressure to kind of wrap it up and give it?
Yeah. Especially as a woman, I had someone say to me yesterday, smile. Oh, I just looked at him like, come on, dude. I think there's a way in which I've been indoctrinated to be happy. I'm not even just talking about toxic happiness. I'm talking about laughter. I mean, let's be real. Comedy and laughter are great for us. They make us. You can't be simultaneously miserable and laughing hysterically at the same time. My brother always tries to cheer me up by redirecting me like I'm a toddler. It works though sometimes. It turns out I am somewhat immature sometimes. So, but at the same time, to gloss over or to make something. I'm trying to look. The word I'm looking for is when you lessen something. Yeah, for someone else. I can't think of the word. See, I have it too. Aphasia.
Yeah, I'm having it right now.
What's that word for when you can't remember a word? It's like what's that thing with coffee and chocolate? I forgot what it's called. Yeah. Anyway, that's I'm figuring the word, but you sort of like you make it smaller, and it's big to them.
Diminish.
Yes. Diminishing. I try not to diminish other people's woes and worries or compare them to my own because Parkinson's is they say it doesn't kill you. It does too. It takes everything. So yeah, anyway.
That's I think you're right. Going back to what you just said about women, especially feel a little bit of that pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is way pre dizziness and everything, but we just walk across the street and
like be a good girl.
Steam bitch face or something, but it's smile strangers that I would walk past, smile, and I'm like, what? Like, I'm fine. First of all, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Second of all, why? Because it's gonna make you feel better about yourself. But then, then there's this added piece. I don't know. Do you? When I go to the doctor, I feel even more like I need to somehow put on the happy. I'm not going to be one of those patients. I don't know.
Yes, because we were afraid to get softly institutionalized.
Yeah.
To borrow a phrase from my friend Kelly, I really feel like that's true. Slowly, they start talking to other people who are in the room. They talk louder to us. Slowly, we're moved away from collaboration more into monitoring. So we don't want to seem like we're off. Not too off. Because once you call somebody crazy, the C word. I was going to say, once you call somebody the C word, but if you call somebody crazy, then you can say, henceforth, everything you say can be wiped off because you're just crazy.
Yeah.
Or they don't forgive you for something that you did say that was crazy. Or a time when your medication made you a slight bit off. I told a girl that doesn't like me from high school that I could talk to her dead grandmother. That went over really well. So anyway, we get off, we get off track.
Yeah, and if we get off track when we're sitting in the doctor's office, that's going to go down in the chart. And
Oh, God, doctors.
judged by that doctor, but then every doctor thereafter.
Yeah. I've had some great doctors, and I've had some doctors that they were great because they told us. They said, "We're are you hallucinating? Are you lonely? How do you feel?" They really check in, and then they offer opportunities for some different options instead of just handing you a pill.
I was curious because you talked about how your doctor's charts could sometimes read like dramatic theater.
There's a shortage of neurologists, so get their attention. You really have to be like hemorrhaging or something. It's like acute care has to come in. But I've often said, like, I'm really worried about what's happening here. This med doesn't work for me, and try to describe it to them. But if they're really busy, they're not going to get back to you. Anyway, I had a doctor say, "You're welcome to move on," because I complained about one of his office staff. Yeah, oops. Didn't know that was off limits. Hey, if they asked me to fill out the forms, don't ever fill them out too carefully.
Francesca just wrote in. She said, "I have Dr. roll his eyes at me." And I said, "Don't roll your eyes at me." And he said he hadn't. And we went back and forth. Oh,
Wow.
no. Of course he said he didn't.
Right.
Actually, actually, that reminds me. So my she went to her, when she got diagnosed with Parkinson's, we found a doctor that was in her area. And it was hard for her to communicate with us what that appointment was all about. But she just kept saying she felt dismissed. So we ended up having a family friend go with her to the next appointment. This was 6 months later, so we had to wait. But he went with her and took, detailed notes on how this whole. And one of the notes was she rolled her eyes at my mom.
Wow.
Yeah. And here's an 80-year-old woman who's just getting diagnosed, figure out what's going on. And we got too many questions. And this woman had zero patience for her.
Reminds me of my grandmother. One time my grandmother was sitting, she's in a wheelchair and she's still about 6 foot tall when she's standing. She's a regal woman. And she had complete wits about her. She's forgotten more than these people will ever know. And they were like, "Can you hear me?" And I was like, "Ooh, hold my purse." Like I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what was happening. And my grandmother very slowly said, she yelled back at him. She said, "I can hear you just fine. And I'm right here. Speak to me, not to my granddaughter, not to the other person in the room. Please speak to me. I'm right here."
Yeah.
Took her a while, yeah. But that soft institutionalization is terrifying. So you start to lose agency. So when other people start to tell you that what's wrong with you, and they're not qualified. These are not neurologists talking. Yeah.
Yeah. And ultimately, when you lose enough of your voice that you become institutionalized, it's going to be really hard to dig yourself out.
Oh, yeah.
Of that.
Especially when you're frozen, too. I get frozen in terms about 7 times a day. It feels like I'm dying. Buried alive.
Where do you experience your frozenness in your body?
It starts in the legs. I can't walk. Someone will pull my arm to help me along. They'll pull me along. And I'll just kind of go, "Have you ever seen the Carol Burnett show?"
Yeah.
Tim. Tim goes like, sort of like he's whoa. He starts to go like that. And he's falling down the stairs. Slow fall down the stairs. It's kind of like that. They're like, "What happened? Did you have a stroke in the bathroom? You were just walking." With the med cycles up and down. It's the meds. Carbidopa.
I saw that in you, Kathleen, in one of your podcasts I watched yesterday. You started it took a long time for you to bring your phone to your ear.
Mm-hmm.
How things started. And then you hooked up the DBS, the deep brain, and we watched real time within 10 minutes, this like almost molasses state going to a much more fluid and articulate place.
That was from the meds.
Constantly for you all day long.
Yeah. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't cross the blood-brain barrier. We don't have agency over that part. That's the problem. It's not that I didn't take my meds or I took too many. It's that they cross the blood-brain barrier based on do you have protein in your body and things like that. I don't want to get into the science of it. That's not very interesting, certainly, but for those who are watching that have Parkinson's, they certainly will know.
Well, it is interesting. I mean, we don't have to get there, but I may, have a follow-up between you and me. Still just trying to learn and doesn't know, how these
There's a lot of digestive problems in your past, so I think we have that in common too.
Yeah. I want to ask, so you work a lot with the Davis Finney Foundation.
They're great.
And, and you just wrapped up your what season podcast with them?
A series, yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And you're just helping people live right now in the moment when it matters. So living with progressive disease, tell me in your terms, what does living well actually do you?
Enough. Kurt Vonnegut famously said that. I stole that from Kurt. My man, Kurt Vonnegut. But I feel like it's more allowing every moment to unfold as it's going to, not having any control, not knowing what's going to happen next. Kind of like improv. They'll say, don't memorize jokes and come in here. You say, get out of here, twerp. I want you to stay right here. Yes, and?
Fun.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen next. That's living well. But having enough. Just enough.
Yeah. And
once your basic needs are met,
that response can be original and surprising, even every moment.
Yeah.
And new, even.
Right. I think unconditional love has helped me too. I have a lot of unconditional love. I'm so fortunate. I've had the opportunity to love some incredible people, and I've been given so much love. Things when I didn't deserve it, when I wasn't very lovable. A lot of people have supported me and cared enough to. We had a birthday party here, and I fell asleep at my own birthday party, and they all stayed and had fun. It was great. My mother is allowing me to stay in her house and renovate it too.
Where
with accessibility.
Are you?
I'm in upstate New York.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it's great.
We're going to be out there at the end of April.
Would you like to come to the Finger Lakes region?
Oh, God, would I ever.
Ithaca, Corning, Elmira?
Yeah.
Come on over. Where are you going?
We're going to be down. It's a open secrets conference for.
Oh, a conference. A conference. But they talk about guardrails and stuff. Do TED Talks and famous people club.
Hopefully it's not like.
We're going to have a party at Nan's.
So, okay, I feel like I see you as there's no separation between Heather Kennedy and Kathleen Kiddo. So, but is there something that when you feel like you're in the Kathleen persona, is there something that Heather might not say?
It's more of a nom de plume. When I first got married, I thought, I'll keep my maiden name because I'll be published by then. It was just a way to create. Not like Prince became that insignia, but I think it's more like an opportunity to just be who you are, not have your name attached. When we do book club writers club, we often talk about the author. We'll speak about you in the third person. We would say, like Kimberly, if you wrote something, we'd say, I like how the author did this, so that you don't get so attached to your work. I think you'd be really creative. If you get attached, the ego gets involved. You start worrying about what people think. Work's no good. It's not as honest.
Does it?
You know that.
Fullest experience that I never thought I would feel with my own story. But when that book got out there, when Unfixed got out there, it doesn't feel like mine anymore. And I don't have baby my own children. So maybe it's the closest to feeling of what that might feel like.
Yeah.
But it's just got its own life now. I don't
Right.
read by whatever. I don't have an investment in how that looks anymore. And it's really unusual because I thought it would. I really do.
Cheryl Strayed famously said, "Your book has a birthday. You just don't know what it is yet." Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, do you have that same unconditional love toward yourself? I know that's such a cheesy
I'm
question, but
working on that. I'm working on that. There's a lot of shame about
yeah.
keeping. My kids have never met me well. They never met me well.
Wow.
You know,
And
I usually only feel shame if I hurt somebody.
I was going to say, so yeah, what does that shame look like as far as, I mean, with your kids? Is it just a sense of feeling like you long? Is it a longing? I don't know.
Well, they grew up in Lafayette, where there's the helicopter moms. Like, there are people with like PhDs that are homemakers by choice, so they can be. And boy, did they put all their lives into like kids. I was the opposite. I was sort of like aloof because I was dealing with this other stuff, and for that, I have some regrets. But I think there was unconditional love, that's for sure. And I grew up in a great family. It was really fun. We even played Twister on the front lawn. So I was pictured the other day, my brother playing Twister on the front lawn.
Oh, nice.
And right when we were there, this kid walked by with a hat, exactly the opposite colors as his. So you got pictures of them together. Pretty funny. Yeah, we had some crazy times.
I love
Really right.
That's one of those games that we need to bring back, I think.
Oh,
And not just like drunken adult swinger party.
Right. People don't touch each other. They don't even look at each other, have a conversation anymore. We used to stand in line. I'm that maniac in the line, by the way, who's like, "How you doing? You having fun yet?"
Mm.
I mean, everyone's like, "I'm looking at my phone. It's very important. Go away, people. Go away, human." We used to ride around the neighborhood and look for the bikes.
Yeah.
That's what the other kids were.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. There's not a lot of contact, interplay. So yeah, Twister might change that.
Are you finding contact just in your daily life? Because I know a lot of our lives have turned into digital these screens even right now.
Yeah. With my cat, but he doesn't have opposable thumbs. So that's troublesome. But I do.
That they don't, because then they can't have phones.
Right? It's like, "Human, I need my food. You just woke up." And he doesn't realize it's going to take me a while to get there. But there are people who come in to help me. I hire caregivers out of pocket. And my mom comes by a lot, and my family comes by sometimes. But other than that, I don't really see people very much but I did get that remote control wheelchair, so maybe that will change.
That might change. Maybe you should carry around a game of Twister in that.
I love that.
Just toss it, wherever, if you land in a park, and then toss it out in the park and see who wants to play Twister.
A very wise woman said to me recently, when people throw a ball at you with their projections, grab it, play with it, walk away with it. Just play with it. Don't throw anything back at them. You don't need to. So when I do play Twister on the front lawn, I expect to get some looks. I'm going to have a lot of balls to play with. Stuff like that. You have to shift how you think about it. Everything is adaptation.
I love that.
Everything.
That's a stoic response there. It's you don't have to deflect. You don't have to give it back to them. You can just go, "Oh, look at this interesting dynamic that I play with right now," and it's just play, because you can drop it when you're ready to drop it.
Right. And it can go into the art. I have a canvas right here that was originally done by my uncle, and I've changed it. I'm working on some things on it right now.
This was originally done by your uncle, you
said? And I've painted over it, but not in like a I'm going to erase you kind of a way. Yeah. I've incorporated some of his images in there.
Wow.
It's really fun.
You shift the camera. It's
trying to see if I can move this a little bit. Well, I also have this guy here. "What are you gonna do with your life?" Remember this guy from Twisted Sister?
Yes. Totally.
He's also in he's in Animal House too. So I can't see what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I can see it. "What are you gonna do with your life?"
I saw him in a Newport ad, so I thought I'd put that there. Let's see. Here's the canvas. Here's the canvas. I know Newport. Sorry about the shakiness. It's almost like I have Parkinson's or something. Everything is imperfect and adaptable. I have these lights here. Anyway, it's looking more like Philip Guston than anything else. But
Wow.
yeah, I've done some big canvas.
Are you working in water? It's definitely.
It is all acrylic. All acrylic, yeah. I have a lot of them. I have a lot of paintings, but I give most of them away. Let's see if I have any here that are good. My niece is a very good painter.
So you got this in your family.
Yes, my niece did this. It can be either way. Upside down. Reflection in the water or reflection in the woods. Too bad I can't see through the screen. I'm not sure if I'm even showing you the right thing.
This. Oh my God. Can you see this?
Ooh, I love that.
My mom did this.
It does look like that.
Pieces, and now I'm turning
Wow.
upside down. I don't think I ever realized.
Wow.
What?
Yes, either way. And I use these two. Here, I'll show you. Oops, sorry. I'm trying to get around my little small spaces are hard. So this, what you're looking at here, is fabric patterns. I put them on the canvas to give it some sort of texture. It's really fun. You made over it or under it, or either decides. Pretty fun. I love to play with things like that. So when I say I'm not a painter, I'm more of an experimental painter.
Player.
Yeah, this is great. Sorry for making everybody dizzy. I'll put this down now. Sorry about that. Sorry. You can also see I don't have pants on now. Darn. Just kidding.
It just wears sweatpants all
Yeah,
day.
right?
That's the thing.
Like all the great newscasters. I do that. So I don't do. This one glows in the dark. The image only comes clear when the light is on. I'm a child of the 70s, you know.
Yes, you are.
Blue light.
So you got to have a little bit of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kathleen, you asked me in our little DM exchange after you finished my book. You said, "When did you realize you have everything you need to heal?" And I didn't answer because I don't. I actually I don't know. But the word heal, that's kind of a loaded word. And for me, I feel like I think I'm going back to the word allow, like you said earlier. I realized that I had everything I need to allow myself to be exactly as I was. But I don't think I don't go to that innate, like the body heals itself for, all of that, because I'm not, I'm still not as bad as I was 10 years ago, but it's bad again this last month, and it's kind of doing its own thing. I feel like the word healing can get really muddy unless we're talking about our spirits, which is also just how do we, conceptualize that? But I remember working with somebody in the original Unfixed docuseries who said she had really painful trigeminal neuralgia, which is that also suicide disease, because it's like getting zapped over and by the trigeminal nerve. And she said she's finally gotten to the point where her body doesn't need to be fixed because she feels like her spirit has been healed.
Right.
And so I guess I think my answer to that is I never did get to this place where I feel like my body would heal, but I do feel like I trust my ability to allow life to happen.
Right.
However it wants to show up.
Right.
And an allowing doesn't mean that it's always peaceful. Like, oh
no, oh no.
Allowing it means fucking hey, man.
Right. Oh, you're back, monsters. You're back.
Yeah.
Don't stay too long. You can sit down. What do you want? Why are you here again? I see you, depression lurking over there. What do you want now?
Yeah.
Scram.
Yeah.
But remember when you said you went to see all these healers? You went to see many different specialists. Like I was told I had fibromyalgia. Then I had lupus, they said. Then they said that I had Lyme disease. And she might have a brain tumor. And then it's all in her head. Oh, and then she needs a kidney problem. She has a kidney problem. He told me all these different things, right? Till finally, it was Parkinson's. To not have a diagnosis is the worst. These invisible illnesses, like chronic fatigue syndrome, as I've said, they get pathologized in sinister ways. Like, this is just awful. People judge each other all the time. Like at the airport, I get yelled at. She'll be like, I saw you walking. You're a liar. Like, thank you so much for protecting people who are disabled from fraud, but you're super sleuth. I don't know about your police work there. It's not so good. Sorry, lady. You got the wrong lady. Yeah.
You confront that judgment from people in so many, like you said, sinister ways. I mean, and really, as if there's not already enough to be dealing with, and then to feel judged.
Can I give them grace, though? There were times when I didn't know. Can I give them some grace? I used to knock on, bathroom doors. I used to be impatient with people. Now I'm like, oh, hell no, I would never do that. You kidding me? Take all the time you want. I know how long it takes to pull up a zipper.
Yeah. I mean, don't you ultimately their own fear?
What's that?
Their own fear of illness? Don't you think it's...
Yes. I represent chaos to people.
We're all afraid of chaos. We're all afraid of illness. We're all afraid of, being disabled and being out of control. So it's
out of control.
Of control. Yeah.
Control is such an illusion, though. My scope of control is about like so tiny. But people rage on politics and so on. Not that there's not plenty to rage on, but what am I going to do about it?
Yeah. What do you feel like you have control over today?
I can choose not to. I can choose to manage and not indulge in my stories about what I think is happening or what is not happening. Just let it happen. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to judge anything. I have to try to be any particular way. That's another gift of disability. Not because people give you a wide berth or anything, not because things have been accommodating, but rather, sorry for the noise, I'm trying to get this off. We can hear it. There we go. More so because we have time to catch our breath. I'm frozen solid half the time. I'm in dystonic fits. I'm having involuntary muscle contractions. So plenty of time to think about all these things. I'm a genius on the New York Times crossword puzzle, so not because I'm good at it, because I take the time to figure it out.
It's one of my favorite times of the day, every day, and I print it out because I don't want to do it.
Wordle.
Oh, New York Connections, New York Times crossword puzzle and Connections are my two. Like my everything in my body. Oh yes!
And for those listening, if you haven't tried Connections, you really should. They give you 4 groups of words, so it's 16 words. You have to see what their connection to each other is and put them in groups.
Yeah.
4 across that line time, so you have 4 groups. And they're written in a way that's like a song lyric or something. So you take off in one direction, and as it doesn't fit, it has to go. It's really cool.
All kinds of red herrings.
Yeah. Blows you away.
We joked about we don't do a Christmas card, but we joked about doing a Christmas card last year, and when Dave sat on the toilet for 175 days in a row, and he did his Connections game in the New York Times.
That's where I write my best stuff. My friend's like, didn't you just go to the bathroom? You come out here and I have this text. It's like 7 paragraphs long. It's epic. What did you do in there? Nothing.
Calls it the Larson laxative. My mom's maiden name is Larson, and for some reason, sisters get on the phone with her. Everyone ends up going to the bathroom.
That's so great. That leads me to my next point.
Yes.
That is so digestive health is so important. If I could give people one bit of unsolicited advice, take care of your gut.
So how do you do that? So tell me in how you've learned, because there's
I stay away from Coke and Pepsi.
Nice.
I drink lots of coffee. Bad girl. But I eat whole foods, organic foods when possible. The less sprays, the better. I try to cook at home when I can. Small amounts of meat, large vegetables. It's kind of like Michael Pollan said. Eat often, mostly vegetables. You can't go wrong.
your gut health has shifted and changed since you've this, but potentially was part of the problem early on with the Parkinson's?
Oh, for sure. I was in the hospital for undiagnosed bleeding. Turns out I had ulcers. The doctor kept telling me, maybe you're having your period. I'm like, I don't think that's where it's coming from, doc.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's been a long history of this. I have celiac disease. Didn't know it for years. And people make fun of that. Like, oh, no gluten. A lot of people that prepare food in restaurants get irritated with me. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know?
It's so common. I've been gluten-free since I was old. And
Really?
then rice, it was about pretty much rice cakes was all I could eat.
Oh,
and
no.
go to like the frickin' bakery and get a donut that's gluten. So
Yeah.
I don't even think about it.
What did you end up having when you were in South America? Or what did you end up having?
Oh, in the book when I got really, really sick?
Yes, when you met the surfers.
Well, the two of the people ended up with Hep C.
Oh, my God.
Not convinced that wasn't because I'm so sick after that. But I'm honestly think it was just some sort of bacterial infection because I had open wounds on my feet. Rubber boots I was prancing around in the rainforest, and then I swam shallows of the Amazon River. And so I think I just got some kind of bad bacterial infection. But I had all kinds of gut stuff for decades. Yeah.
I can relate. And they kept telling me it was in my head. I'm like, well, it turns out with Parkinson's, it kind of is. Yeah, it turns out they were kind of right.
Yeah.
Shucks.
Isn't that lovely that eventually it comes back around and it's all in your head. Same thing with a lot of people with dizzy disorders. They're like, oh, you just need to relax. And you're like, fuck you, this really, really sucks.
Right.
Oh, because I'm actually making it worse. So yeah, maybe I should have relaxed or taken your diazepam or whatever.
But you don't want to anesthetize per se. You do want to get to the bottom of it. It's like the reason I asked the question about how did you know or when did you know that you had everything you needed inside of you is because I've relied on everything external all these years for validation, for support, they must know more than me. I assumed I was not the smartest person in the room. Always. Something to learn from everybody, which is fun. You can learn something from everybody and still know that only you know. Boils down to liking your own company. Only you can know. You can heal your heart in a way. Healing, you're right. Healing's a tough one.
Yeah. I think we need to find another.
Yeah. How about you can. Sorry, I don't use acceptance either.
No, I mean allowing.
Allowing.
But honestly, Unfixed to me it feels like it's a much more of a celebration.
Yeah.
More, not even celebration, not the right word, but it's a
broken open.
Yeah.
I broke a shell, and my friend from college picked it up, drew this on it, and gave it to me years later.
It looks like an eye. Hang on, let me get bigger.
It is an eye. I broke a shell open. I said, "This is like," because I had been reading Tom Robbins.
Yeah.
The perfume.
Oh, bad book.
With the essence, you smash the bottle, the essence comes out, and so I broke a shell and did this big dramatic thing for my senior year. It's pretty funny. But anyway, he saved this and made it into a little necklace. I thought that was cute.
Oh.
Yeah. Smash the shell, let the essence out.
You have a memoir in you?
Memoir, no, but I have a lot of stories, little essays.
And are you going to keep on? So, you've had so many different media. Where are you focusing these days? What's in the 2026 horizon for you?
Adaptive items. Like, I might even open a storefront. I've tested a lot of things. Adaptive lifestyles, adaptive clothing, adaptive bags, adaptive everything. Adaptive technology. Really tired my screen not working. My hands don't work. Like things like nail polish that you can't get all over the place. Yeah. By the way, you might want to check out Dazzle Dry Ladies. Yeah.
Really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
This a storefront with adaptive technologies, adaptive products, and they can be fun. like now, and be practical too, but we also, I mean, I watched this. My mom, when I go, I'm going to be with her next Monday. And as soon as I get to her house after flying from Oregon to Denver, she's already like laid out all the things that she needs me to open, things from her drawer upstairs.
Oh my gosh.
She just like needs to have things open. Can't get them open until
right. I can't even open the bottles they give us the pills in, let alone the clamshells.
Yeah.
Larry David's got a great skit where he's fighting with the clamshell. Google Curb Your Enthusiasm and look at that one. That's pretty fun. Oh. Welcome to my life. Yeah, I'm with your mom. Buttons are hard. Hardest button to button. Sometimes just reaching out to grab something doesn't really work. Putting my glass up, poke myself in the eye. Contacts would be tough.
Work. Contacts would be very tough. So who are you going to work with? Some engineers to design some products, or do you feel like the products are already out there? Do you want to create a storefront?
I already am. That and tips and tricks. I work with a brilliant number of my friends. We just design things during the day.
Yeah.
Some of them are wins, some of them are not so winning.
Oh, look at that.
I don't even know what this is. We're trying to figure out, get a lot of prototypes of stuff. Yeah. And things that are easier to open, like sometimes cases they don't have a latch on them. Packaging design is huge. Or like thicker pens that are easier to write with. I can't write anymore. Oh, glasses. This is a glass I had made. It's from the man who works for Corning Glass Works. It's lightweight and has gripping.
Wow. Okay. What are you going to call this store?
Shaky Couture with my friend Chris Shearcoke. Shearcoke. Yeah, I have trouble saying words today. Hi, Knox Brass and Kathleen, and wow.
I know.
Fun people here.
Are beautiful people.
Fun people.
Francesca wrote at one. She's like, I've written a lot of poems in the bathroom, and I have a book of Francesca's poetry, which is just gorgeous, sitting next to my sofa. And I just, whenever I'm doing my crossword puzzle at the end of the day, I pick it up and I read another poem. And now I know that you wrote these on the toilet, which is even better, Francesca. Oh, Kathleen. Well, I'm so happy to.
Thank you.
Really, just you're a joy. You are original. You are present, deeply present, and responsive to the moment. I want to talk with you on stage and see what kind of shenanigans you can get into. You feel like Ruth Sapora, you would on my toe all the time. So if I lived near you, I'd be knocking on your door.
We're gonna have some fun. Can I mention something about your book?
Oh God, of course. Sure.
There's one part that kind of broke my heart. You finally got to Charlie's place where it had been so well, and the storm came. And I just want to say, there's always a storm, isn't there?
Yeah.
We're okay with that. It's not that we expect it. It's not that we're Debbie Downer. It's that when the storm comes, we're like, oh yeah, there you are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Again.
Yeah.
Like, so you were almost ready for it. You took that in stride. You jumped right in to see what you could do. Yeah, well, with the help and love and kindness of others that were, strangers, and said, hey, let's do this together. The service you're providing here, you had a healer on recently. I really listened to everything she said. She'd work with the president. Yeah. She's great. Yeah, I think is who you're referring to. Yes, she. Really fun. Really fun. There's one of the things I write when I do little signings in my book is there is peace in the storm. Yes. And it's not after the storm. It's in the storm. And I think because storms are inevitable, it's good for us to train ourselves just like you do with your humor and your brutal honesty. It's like, let's figure out a way for things to coexist. Because yes. When we can have the storm and the peace at the same time, we can have the movement and the stillness at the same time. Finally, we're free. Yes, as above, so below, and also the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. Like a Balinese dancer. All of it.
vibes here.
Yeah, right? Normally I look like a robot. So stiff.
Oh, you're beautiful.
You're
Thank
beautiful.
you to everyone for being here with us. Oh man, and Eileen Doherty just joined.
Eileen.
You know, Eileen, I'm going to post this so you can watch the whole hour we were together. I'm sorry you just joined now, but yeah, you guys.
And Carlene's here.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you. Kelly's here. All of you.
Wants to have a party with both of us. Okay, well, we're going to have a for these days. We'll have a
Deal.
party. Elizabeth Jameson's.
Yes, let's do it.
All right. Big love to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Look forward to another time.
Yeah. Bye.
Adios, muchachos. Muchachas.